Hi all, I'm Dee and welcome to Dee Code's YouTube channel. Actually in this video, we'll be talking about the Cognizant Communication Assessment. Cognizant on campus for 2025 batch is going to be starting. The first round is actually Communication Assessment. That is scheduled on September 11th or 12th. Okay, so in this live session, I'll be talking about all the sections, giving you practice questions and everything. And I'll also be answering your queries. Okay, so please do watch this till the end. So let me just set up the chat so that I can talk with you people easily. I'll just sign in. Okay, so this is okay. So the chat is done. So Aravind has asked Wipro next round preparation video. Yeah, okay. I'll do a video on that. So yeah, next is going to be technical round, right? So I'll definitely do a video on that. Okay, Aravind. Okay, thank you for your question. Okay, so let me just start. Let me just wait a few seconds so that people can join and then I'll start this live session, okay? So to talk about this, so Cognizant actually usually conducts the like the aptitude assessment first, followed by that you'll be having communication assessment. So sometimes, yeah, like that only, but in this hiring, they are conducting communication assessment as the first round. So, okay, let's see all about it. Okay, I'll just start with the session. So please do watch the session till the last so that you can get every information, okay? So before going into the session, I'd like to show you my YouTube channel, which is Decode. So the purpose of my channel is to be useful for others who are all preparing for their interviews so that they can get to the next steps of their lives, right? So I have various contents in my channel, such as like technical interview experience, HR interview experience, coding questions, various companies, previous questions like Accenture, Hexaware. I've covered that, hiring updates, hackathon updates, internship updates, job updates, and my team is also working on shorts, Java shorts, Python shorts, like even technical aspect like course kind of thing is also being covered. So please do subscribe to me, as this will be really useful for you. And if you don't want to miss any updates, then my channel is the right thing for you. So share it with your friends who are all preparing for the Cognizant assessment, okay? The communication assessment and the further rounds, share it with them so that they can get benefited from this also, okay? Now let me just move into the session. So before that, let me just see the chat if I've got any message or anything like that. Okay, no. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So let me just start with it. Okay, so before going into this, first of all, this is only for batch 2025. So for batch 2024, the Cognizant hiring is already done. Okay, the hiring is done, and it was done during like June. So June it started and it is done. So this is only for 2025 batch, and it is on campus. Okay, and the tentative date of the communication round is actually September 11 or 12, okay, of 2024. That is what has been communicated by the company to the placement officers of various colleges. And the communication round is an elimination round. Please don't forget it, right? So it is an elimination round, so you'll have to perform really well to get selected in this. Okay, so let's get into this. So these are the sections that you will be having, starting with reading, and then listening, and then comprehension, and then grammar, and then speaking. So you'll be having like 5 sections, standard section. After you complete each section, the next section will be loaded up and you'll have to answer all the questions in that. Okay, let me see if I've got any questions, and then let me just move ahead. Okay, no. Okay, fine. Let me just okay, so these are all the sections that you'll be having in this assessment. So this assessment is going to be for 60 minutes. Okay, 1 hour. The standard time is 1 hour, 58 minutes or 60 minutes even. So let's see. So first round is the reading. First section is the reading. So this order might be changed up, but this is what you will be getting. Okay, so the reading section. So in the reading section, first of all, sentences will be displayed on the screen. Okay, it will be displayed on the screen like 7 to 8 sentences, and you will have to look at it and read out loud. Okay, so for each sentence you will be allocated 15 seconds to read. Okay, so this is the reading section. So 7 to 8 pretty basic sentences, only like short sentences to medium sentences length. Okay, that will be asked and we'll have to look at it and read it out aloud. So this is a reading section. So it is going to be displayed on the screen. Don't forget that. Followed by that, you are going to be having same reading section, the same, that will be continued. So you'll be having paragraph displayed on the screen, like short paragraphs, right? Like 3 to 4 paragraphs with 3 to 4 lines each, just 3 lines like that. So it will be displayed on the screen. You'll have to read out loud, and for each paragraph you'll be getting 30 seconds to read. Okay, so you'll have to like click on the like the record button, and then you'll have to play, or else it might even be auto recorded. So the AI will be showing you, right? It will be showing you the sentence or the paragraph. You can, like, mostly you'll be clicking on the record button and then you can record it and then move on, right? So this is the reading section. So reading section is pretty easy. So in the reading section, you'll have to follow some do's and don'ts. Okay, I'll be telling you about it, but let me see in the chat if I've got any questions or queries. No. Okay, in case of any queries, if you people are watching, please do put it in the chat. I'll make sure to answer it. Okay, okay, let me move on. Right, so some of the things that I want you to keep in mind are, so you need to be very good in pronunciation. So basic pronunciation, you'll have to do that properly. You'll have to be fluent. The fluency is very important. They are going to check that. You should not be stammering, or you should not stammer and stutter. Okay, so if you're going to stammer, then the points will be reduced for that particular question for you. So the only way in which you can reach fluency is by practice. You'll have to have proper practice so that you can do this properly. So don't worry if you don't know how to clear like communication assessment. If you're facing any difficulties, then watch this live session fully, because I'll be giving you the practice questions also. Okay, so this is like a one shot communication assessment a session or a video. This can be applied to any service based companies, any company. It's companies hiring, even product based. Okay, it doesn't matter. So they're going to ask the same pattern. Okay, so you have to give correct pauses in the sense, so if this paragraph is going to have any comma, so comma means you'll have to pause a little bit and then you'll have to continue, right? So that thing will also be considered. You'll have to read properly. Okay, now let me just move on to the practice section. I have like 7 sentences for you to look at and practice. These are not like simple sentences. These are going to have like commas in there so that you can practice. So they've given that. So if you're watching this session, I want you to look at each of these sentence and try to read it out. You can even take a screenshot and practice later on. Okay, let me just read it up for you so that you can have an idea. Okay, the first sentence: the cat sat on the warm windowsill, watching the birds outside. Okay, now let me move on to the second sentence. Sarah loves to paint colorful pictures of flowers and trees. Okay, now let me move on to the third sentence. The book was so interesting that I couldn't put it down. Okay, so like the intonation also matters. Like if you read this sentence, you can normally read it like, the book was so interesting that I couldn't put it down. But if you want to give any emotions to it, you can say, the book was so interesting that I couldn't put it down. You know the difference, you can like grasp, right? Okay, let me move on to the fourth sentence. He quickly finished his homework before going out to play. Okay, so when you're starting to record the particular sentence, I just want you to be like, don't get anxious too much, just like normally speak it. So record, wait a second, and then start speaking, because if you start speaking as soon as you start recording, then the initial part might not be captured properly. Okay, you might have the chance of losing marks because of that. So I just want you to follow that. Okay, I'll go to the fifth sentence. The sun was shining brightly, making the day feel warm and cheerful. Okay, now on to the next sentence. We took a long walk along the beach and collected seashells. Okay, now let me go to the next sentence. The little, yeah, I'm stammering, right? I just don't want you to do that. Okay, The little dog barked excitedly when it saw its owner coming home. Okay, so even if you stutter a little bit, your marks will be lost, so don't do that. So initially, while practicing, you will have that. So while talking, like practicing a lot, you will get it. Honestly, you'll get it, so don't worry. Okay, and I've also got a few paragraphs for you to read. Okay, so as I said before, for these sentences, you'll be given like how many seconds? 15 seconds to read, and for these paragraphs you'll be given 30 seconds to read. So within that time frame you'll have to read it completely. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow. Maintain a constant pace, maintain a proper pace. Okay, okay, let me see if I've got any questions or anything. So someone has said, will this be live recorded and posted in YouTube? So yeah, this is, yeah, it will be posted in YouTube. So this is a live session. So so I've made it in such a way that this will be posted in YouTube, so you can watch it later on too. Thank you for the question. Now let's go to the next one. Yeah, I just want you to look at it and read it. You can even take a screenshot for later purpose. Okay, let me just read it for you. The morning sun peeked through the curtains, casting a golden glow across the room. Birds chirped merrily outside, greeting the new day. Slowly, she stretched and smiled, ready to start her day. I feel like it would have taken like 30 seconds. Okay, so I hope you have an idea. So you can say, slowly, she stretched and smiled, ready to start her day. Okay, you need to give a pause, a minute pause like that. Okay, let's move on to the next sentence. The little boy ran down the hill, his laughter echoing in the air. His kite soared high above, dancing in the wind. His joy was contagious, and everyone around couldn't help but smile. Okay? I hope that was understandable for you. Please practice along with me so that you can, you'll have that practice and you can do well. Okay? I'll be reading the third sentence now. In the quiet library, rows of books stood like silent guardians of knowledge. The smell of old paper filled the air as she carefully selected a book. Lost in the pages, the world outside seemed to disappear. Okay? So yes, so while reading also, sometimes when you read a sentence or a paragraph for the first time, since you don't have the familiarity with that, you might make some mistake, right? So whenever the particular sentence is displayed, read it in your mind twice or thrice, and then you can read while like speak and record it. Okay, I want you to do that because we are not native English speakers, we can't read it as such, right? So it is kind of difficult. Okay, so this is all about the reading section. I hope this was useful for you. So to summarize the reading section, so the sentences, so you'll be getting sentences and paragraphs, 7 to 8 sentences and 3 to 4 paragraphs, totally like 10 to 12 questions in this session. So you'll have to read out loud, it will be displayed on the screen. And for sentences, simple sentences, you'll have 15 seconds to read, and for paragraphs you'll get 30 seconds to read. Okay, I hope this was easy and understandable for you. If you've got any doubt, please mention in the chat. Let me come to the chat once again and see. Okay, I've not got any questions. Yeah, in case of any queries, I'll answer. Okay, now let's move on to the listening. So listening is going to be pretty difficult, you know. So because the audio is not going to be in Indian accent, and it's not going to be slow, it's going to be fast and in British accent or American accent or Canadian accent, anything, anything like the non-native accent, right? So we'll have to have a ton of practice to get the audio correctly and repeat it. So a simple sentence, you're going to obviously be able to listen to it easily and say that. So but what happens is, in this listening rounds, it's going to start with very simple questions and then medium questions, and towards the end you're going to get huge sentences. And trust me, towards the end, when you get those huge sentences, you will not be able to listen completely, like you might forget, right? So that is pretty difficult, but with practice you can achieve that. So no matter what you heard, always speak confidently. Okay, speak confidently whatever you know and heard at that point. I just want to say that. Okay, so this is the listening, nothing much to say. Listen the audio. So the audio will be on the screen. You'll have to click on the play button, listen to the audio, and you'll have to repeat. Okay, many questions will be asked, so it is not definitive. So it's not definitive like only this much of questions going to be asked. So many questions, especially on this part. So I've even got a practice sentences for you. So let me just take up the questions. Okay, I've got it. So first of all, I am just going to be reading 5 easy sentences, like very easy sentences. I want you people whoever are watching, like either in live stream or future in videos, I want you people to listen to it and then try to pause the video and try to speak. Okay, first 5 very easy sentences. With this, you can assess which level you are in. Okay, let me just start with this. Okay, first one: the cat is sleeping on the couch. Okay, so you don't get to redo, you can't listen to it again, you can't get to replay. So please try to listen. Okay, I'll give you some time and then I'll go to the second sentence. Okay, let's see if I've got any answers for it. Okay, let me just see. So Sai Chandu has asked, any update about LTI Mind 3 HR result? So the thing is, actually LTI Mind 3 HR result, so it's going to take some time actually. So I can't really say which, because some colleges are receiving the result and some are not. It's totally dependent on the company. So but I'm doing the work on it. I'm working on it to gather like possible information. So for now it is going to be delayed for sure. You'll have to wait. All you can do is wait, and when I get an update, I'll definitely post a video on it. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Sai Chandu. Surender has asked, ma'am, any update about Hexaware? Okay, so about Hexaware, so if you've already attended your aptitude round, you would have got through your college the selection list, and you would have got a communication, like the group discussion would have been like allotted on a particular day. That is the update actually. So for many colleges, group discussion is being allotted on like September 4, 5, 6 and such dates. So that is the update. So if you've got selected through your college, you'll be getting the selection list and the date for the Hexaver group discussion, which is the second round, and that is offline. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Surender. Okay, let me just go. The next sentence I'll be reading. Okay, she likes to read books every evening. Okay, pause this video. And then third, the sun is shining brightly today. Okay, fourth sentence, I have a red ball in my bag. Okay, fifth sentence, they are going to the park after school. Okay, so these might have been very easy for you to understand because these are all like very easy questions. Now I'll be medium length sentences. Okay, let me just start it. The children were excited to visit the zoo and see all the animals. Let me go to the second sentence. She quickly finished her homework so she could watch her favorite show. Okay, let's me go to the third sentence. The teacher explained the new math concept using clear examples. Okay, so medium sentences still pretty easy because it's not much long. Now let me read difficult sentences and try to answer it. Let me just go over to the chat and see if we've got any questions. Okay, fine. I'll just continue then. Difficult sentences, so be ready. Let me just start it. Despite the heavy rain, the team continued their outdoor practice, determined to improve their skills before the big game. Okay, let me just go over to the next sentence. After carefully considering all the options, he decided to accept the job offer in a different city, even though it meant leaving his friends and family behind. Okay? So yeah, I hope these sentences gave you an idea like what kind of sentences might be asked. And yeah, I've given you like 10 sentences that you can listen and practice. Easy, medium, and difficult sentences. So this is all about the listening round. So this is going to be difficult for you. So I can suggest you a website. So actually, let me just put it in the chat. So actually, for the Cognizant practicing of the listening section, there is this website. So PTE, so just search it in the Google, PTE exam practice, and you will be getting many website links, and you can click on it, and actually there will be tons of audio for you to practice. So you can just practice um, how much ever sounds you want to practice. Okay, let me just, so I just want you to search this in Google. Okay. Okay, so Dhanalakshmi has asked, when will be Hexaver second round? So actually, if you're done with your first round, your college will be receiving a mail, a selection mail of the selected candidates, and soon after, also be receiving the tentative dates for the second round. So second round is actually group discussion. So Hexaver group discussion is going to be happening offline, not online. So you'll be receiving that through your college only. Okay. It is different for each and every college, right? I hope that answered your question, then Lakshmi. Thank you for your question. Let me move on. Okay, so yeah, this we are done. And the next is actually comprehension. So comprehension actually, this is going to be a listening round as well. So paragraphs, 3 to 4 line or 4 to 5 lines paragraph will be in an audio format. Okay, and that audio will be played for you. You will have to listen to it properly, and then after that MCQ questions will be displayed on the screen, and you have to mark the answer. This is the comprehension round. Okay, so comprehension basically means understanding. So they are going to see how much you've understood from the audio. Okay, from the audio that is played, how much you've understood. So questions will be checking your understanding skills, your comprehension skills. So comprehension means understanding. Okay, so this is the round, comprehension round. So this might also be pretty difficult if the paragraph is too long. We might actually miss some points, because if it is long, and especially it's going to be fast with an American or a British accent, so you might feel difficult. So for this also you can have practice. The same PTE English website I will suggest for you. Okay, so this is the comprehension round. So far we have seen 3 rounds, right? So the like the reading round, I'm sorry, the reading round. The first round we have done with reading round, and then listening, and then comprehension. Okay, so 3 rounds are completed. I've completely explained it. If you've got any doubt, please mention it in the chat below. I'll just try to answer. And then we've got grammar and speaking. So like the students, you will lose like much marks in this listening. If the listening if the paragraph is huge, actually you might make some mistakes. So in the listening and comprehension you might make and lose some marks over there. And the next one is actually grammar, because if you're not in constant touch with the grammar, you might actually forget the rules. So the grammar round, you'll be getting like so much of questions on various topics, so you should be prepared on that. Okay. Okay, let me just show you the grammar. Okay, so the next section is actually the grammar section. So the grammar section, you're going to get the fill in the blanks and MCQ type questions. I'll be telling you for which you'll be getting the fill in the blanks and for which the MCQs will be asked. So 40 questions will be asked on this particular round. Right, so you're going to get the topics on all of these, and like parts of speech, articles, active to passive voice, passive to active voice, direct to indirect speech, indirect to direct speech, if clauses, subject verb agreement. So these are all the most commonly asked questions in, or like the grammar. So if you take grammar, no, you can expect questions from all of this. So if you take parts of speech, you have 8 parts of speech actually, starting with noun, pronoun, verb, like noun, pronoun, verb, preposition, um, conjunction, interjection, adjective, adverb. So 8. Okay. So in these, mostly verb based question, preposition based question. In parts of speech, both of these most asked. Okay. You've got like noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection, right? So you'll be getting questions on verb mostly and preposition mostly. So you need to be concentrating on all of that. If you take preposition, you can just practice. So for you have many prepositions, right? So you need to know where you need to use all of this. So you need to know where you should use between and among, right? So between is used when you talk about two people. Among is used when you talk about a group of people. So the chocolate was shared between two people, and the chocolate was shared among a group of friends. Okay, so you need to know these differences. Between, among, definitely one question might be asked. Under, over, above, these are all like the common things. On, in, okay, on the table, not in the table, things like that. And you need to use on when talking about dates, day, on Saturday, on Friday, on Monday, okay, on 1st May 2024, like that. Okay, so there are rules for it. So don't feel like you just don't know anything on grammar, on all of these things. So English is rule based. There are several rules, and if you just remember these rules, you can easily learn grammar. It's that easy. Most people find English and grammar pretty difficult. If you just have the understanding of that, then you can easily crack it, right? So you don't have to worry for this grammar round. I'll be giving you the entire like the how you need to focus on this, because you're going to be getting like 40 questions on this. So like each section has a cutoff, and combined you'll have a cutoff, right? So you need to pass that. Okay, so if you want, I can even like put a video on each of these. Okay, if you want that, just mention in the chat. Okay, so let me come to the chat and see if you've got like any questions or anything. Okay, no so far. Okay, so if you've got any queries of anything, you can just put it in the chat box. I'm here and I'll answer to it. Okay, so if you take articles, just three: a, and the, right? So you need to know there are rules for it. Very simple rules and exceptions. Sometimes if you follow English, if you try to understand English based on rules, sometimes it doesn't work out. You need to follow the exceptions. And sometimes the some things doesn't come under the rules and the exceptions. Some things are like that only. You just need to remember those things. So you can just learn grammar if you follow the rules, if you know the exceptions, and if you try to understand that some things are like some things are that way only. If you have that understanding, you can easily learn English grammar. It's that easy. Okay, and then active to passive voices, again you're going to have rules for it. You don't have to worry about that. Direct to indirect speech. And then if clauses, yeah, there are 8 rules. Subject to verb agreements, like 20 rules. So okay, now let me move on. Okay, so for grammar, 40 questions will be asked. Like I've got like some of these sample questions for you to show. So we'll be practicing those sample questions right now. Let me just start. Okay, I've got this in a separate Word document. So you can expect question from these topics: verbs and tenses. Okay, verbs and tenses. I've got like 20 questions. Okay, and then articles, prepositions, active to passive voice. Okay, I've got questions on that, and also error correction. Okay, so we'll just start solving this from the start. Okay, let me just take my pen. Okay, fine. Okay, let me just take this. Okay, amazing. Okay, so we've got this. So before moving into this, let me just see if we've got any questions. Aditya Singh has asked, "Hello ma'am, I got selected for Hexaver second round, and the next round is a group discussion. What topics will be asked, ma'am?" Okay, Aditya, so for group discussion, you can expect questions from technical topics, abstract topics, social topics. Okay, So I've got a separate video for that. So you can go to my channel right now, and I've got a separate video explaining about the group discussion thoroughly. And I've also given the topics that you can expect. So you can go over there and you can try to watch it so you'll get some idea. Okay, so for example, um, you can get like technical topics, abstract social topics, social media topics, AI related topics and such. But there are so much, so go to my video and you can see. Okay, and Debjit has asked, can you share practice sheet? Surely, Debjit. So after this live session gets over, I'll surely put it in a drive and share it in the description box so that you can have access to it. Okay. Okay, I hope that answered you people's question. Now let's move on. Okay, I've got another question, I guess. Okay, Hosaifa has asked, can you please share sheet for coding question to prepare for Accenture PADA role? Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'll put a separate video for that, and I'll share that also with you in a drive link, through a drive link. So I hope that answered your question too. Okay. Let me move on. Okay. So sorry. Yeah. Let's start with verbs and tenses, right? So let's start. Okay, so these are all fill in the blanks. So you need to put on some verb and tense based on a tense, right? So you'll be given what word you have to use. That is the only thing that's going to be given. Now let's see. She dash goes to the market every Saturday. Okay, so actually if you see this, every Saturday. So this is actually habitual action, right? So every Saturday, it's a habitual action. So when they're talking about habitual action, how do you know if it is an habitual action? You can have that question. So that person is doing that every Saturday. So that is a habit. So for habitual actions, you have to use simple present. This is how we are going to find which tense which tense to use for a particular sentence. Okay, only with the help of these keywords. You have the keywords, very simple. Tenses are very simple. You've got like 12 tenses. Like answering these questions are very easy if you know the keywords, right? So habitual action, so every denotes the habitual action. So habitual action, universal truth, proverbs. So these are going to take simple present tense as its verb. The tense of the verb is going to be simple present. Okay, so that is what we are going to use here. So we are going to use, okay, we've got go or goes. So not only the tense, but the singularity or the plurality of the particular tense also matters, right? So that is assessed based on the noun that we are using. She. So she is a singular noun. It's only talking about one person. It's a singular noun. So if you are going to use singular noun, you will have to add es to the verb. So the answer is she goes. She goes to the market every Saturday. I hope that answered this question. Okay, you need to look at the keyword for the tense, and you need to look at the noun for the singularity or the plurality of the particular verb. Okay, now let's go to the second question. I dash when you called last night. Okay, so actually, let's look at the keyword. The keyword is actually last night. Okay, last night is a keyword. So last night is actually in the past. Okay, it's actually in the past. So you're going to use the past tense. So in the past tense, you have simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous. So which one should you use? I dash when you called last night. So you also have when. So if it was just last night, I dash last night study. You can just use study verb plus V2. Like that is studied. You can just use I studied last night. But they've used when. So when is actually the keyword for past continuous. So she was studying when that person called last night. So I was studying when you called last night. So when you called last night, I was studying. So that was a continuous action. So you will have to put was. So simple, was plus verb plus ing, was studying. Okay, I hope that answered the question. Now let's move on to the next one. Let me just change the color for easier visibility purpose. Okay, then the third question. They dashed the project by the time we arrived. Okay, we need to put a tense in here, right? Okay, now that means we have to look at the keyword by the time. By the time is actually the keyword for past perfect. Okay, they dashed the project by the time we arrived. So past perfect means had plus verb in the V2. So had plus verb in the second form, V2 form. V2 form is actually you will have to add ed. So they had finished. They had finished the project by the time we arrived. Okay, that is the answer for this thing. So let me see if we've got any queries. Okay, so Debjit, thanks. Aditya Singh. Okay, ma'am, thank you. Welcome. You're welcome, Debjit, and you're welcome, Aditya. Okay, let me just move on to the next one. Okay, let me just wait a minute. Okay, okay. So I was talking about he usually dash a nap in the afternoon. Okay, usually. So okay, we need to look at the tense. So for that we need to look at the keyword. The keyword is actually usually. So usually also represents habitual action. So he usually dash a nap in the afternoon. So we'll have to use simple present. Fine. Simple present means the verb is going to be take or takes. So how do I determine if it is take or takes? You'll have to look at the noun. The noun is in a singular form. So you'll have to add es to the verb if the noun is singular. So he usually takes a nap in the afternoon. Very simple, right? It is very simple with simple present. Okay, let's go to the next one. The children dash in the park when it started to rain. Okay, we already came across a question like this, right? The children dash in the park when it started to rain. Okay, so they've used when here, when it started to rain. So actually they're talking about a past action that was going on when something was happening. Okay, that is how you can assess it. So it's actually past continuous. If they've used when, it is past continuous. The children, okay, the past continuous means was or were plus verb plus ing. Fine. Should I use was or were? For that, I'll have to look at the noun. The children. The children is in plural. So you'll have to use the plural verb, which is were. The children were playing in the park when it started to rain. Were playing. Okay. The answer is were playing. Okay, let's go to the next question. By next year, I dash at this company for 5 years. Okay, we have to pick a tense. So for that, let's see. By next year, and we've got for. Okay, by next year, I dash at this company for 5 years. So by next year is actually the verb for. mm, They're talking about the future action, right? Future action, something that is going to be happening in the future. So you'll have to use future tense. So if you've got like for, there is this rule actually. If you've got like since or for, you'll have to use the how do I say that? Okay, okay. Let's say you are in your final year now, right? So you would say, I have been studying in this college for 3 years. This is the fourth year. So you would say, I have been studying in the college for 3 years. So when you're talking about a set of period, you have been studying for 3 years. So you're talking about a set of period, 3 years, right? For 3 years. So in that case, you have to use present perfect continuous. Okay. So that is going to be have plus been, have or has, plus been, plus ing. This is the rule. If you're going to talk about something like I've been doing this for this much year, I've been doing this for that much year, you have to use I have been, verb plus ing. Very simple. But they're talking about the future thing here. By next year I dash at this company for 5 years. You just need to add will. Very simple. Will. I will have been working at this company for 5 years by next year. So by next year, I will have been working at this company for 5 years. I hope that was understandable for you. This might be confusing because there's a ton of rules that you'll have to remember. Okay, let's go to the next one, seventh. We dash we dash him since he moved to a different city. Okay, since and for. Commonly asked grammar question. Very commonly asked grammar question. Since and for. If you see since and for, you have to use present perfect. Okay, if you're talking about the continuous period, you will have to use present perfect continuous. If not if not a certain time, you'll have to use just present perfect. Okay, let's see. We dash him since he moved to a different country. Okay, so this is not a separate period, so you should use present perfect. We have not seen him. We have not seen him. So have not seen. Okay, actually have or has plus verb should be in the V3 form. See, saw, seen. That is the rule. V3. Okay. We have not saw. So I've seen some of the people using wrong the tenses, the verbs in the wrong way. They would say uh, they would say there was lived a person. That is wrong, right? So the was already denotes the past. You can't use lived. Okay, there was lived a person. No, there lived a person. Okay, that is where you guys make mistakes. Some of the people might make mistake. I just want you to correct that. Okay, I hope you understood the since and for. Let's move on to the next one. Let me change up the color. Okay, she dash a cake for her friend's birthday tomorrow. Okay, we'll have to pick a tense. For that, we'll have to look at the keyword. The keyword is actually tomorrow. She dash a cake for her friend's birthday tomorrow. So tomorrow it's actually in the future tense. So future tense, just simple future tense, simple future. So for future tense, you will have to use will or shall plus V1. So how do you do? She will, V1 is bake. So bake. She will bake a cake for her friend's birthday tomorrow. Okay, let's go to the ninth one. They dash their grandparents every summer. You can see this. Okay, we'll have to pick a tense. You'll have to look at the keyword. Keyword is every. Every represents habitual action. You'll have to use simple present. Okay, simple present means visit or visits. Right? How should I use visit or visits? That depends upon the noun. Noun is in plural or singular. They means plural. So that means I should not add s. That means it's just visit. They visit their grandparents every summer. Now, grammar is easy, right? Okay. 10th one. He dashed the office before the meeting started. Okay. We'll have to pick a tense. So for that, I'll have to look at the keyword, which is before. Right. So before. So if you encounter the keyword before, you'll have to use past perfect. Okay. Past perfect means simple. Had plus V3. Okay. So we'll be using had. V3 is leave, left, left. Leave is V1, left is V2, left is V3. He had left the office before the meeting started. So if you encounter before, just remember it's past perfect. Past perfect means had plus V3. So had is actually had plus V3. So you might ask, should we not see if the noun is singular or plural and put something based on that? No. In this case, because past perfect, you have only one verb, which is had. So whether the noun is singular or plural, you have to use had. But if it is present perfect, there are have and has. So for singular noun, you have to use has. For plural noun, you'll have to use have. Let me just put it over here. Okay. There is no space. Okay. So you got two tenses, present perfect and past perfect. So in present perfect you have and has, and in past perfect you have had. So it doesn't matter if the noun is singular or plural, you always use had because there is only one verb for the past perfect. But you have two separate verbs in order to use depending upon the singularity or the plurality. So has, you use it for singular noun. You can remember S, yes, has singular, and have for plural noun. Okay, this is for singular or plural noun. I hope that was understandable for you. Let's go to the next one. I dashed this book before, so I know the ending. Okay, let's see. I told you if I use before, you need to use had. But there is a case here, that is, you'll have to look at this particular sentence. I know the ending. Know is in the present tense. So they are talking about something that is present. Okay, they're talking in the present tense. So you have to use present perfect only. Okay, that means you can use have or has plus V3. So you need to look at the noun. The noun is I. So even though I is singular, you need to always use the plural verb when it comes to I. That is the exception. Remember, remember the rule, remember the exception, and remember the as such points. So you have to use have. I have read. Okay, I hope that was understandable for you. Now let me move to the chat and see if you've got any question. Yes, Sumit has asked, can we expect the LTI mentor results this week or next week? Actually, Sumit, I'm still working on it and I'm trying to collect the information regarding that. So you might expect delay in the LTI mentor results. So it might be this week or next week or even after that. It's not for sure. Some colleges have started receiving the result. Even the training schedule has been scheduled. So the LTI entry rounds is not much organized, I would say, so you can expect a delay. Okay, you'll all you can do is wait, but in the meanwhile, if I get any kind of update, I'll surely upload a video on that and keep you people updated. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Sumit. Now let me move to solving the questions. Okay, 12th one, she dash her homework yet. Okay, we have to pick a tense. We have to look at the keyword. The keyword is yet. Okay, yet is the keyword for present perfect tense. The present perfect means have or has plus V3. So you need to use have or has, but the noun is singular, so you need to use has. Has plus V3. So she has not. V3 means finish, finished, finished. Finished is a V3. So finished. Okay, nice. Let me move on to the 13th one. When I was a child, I dashed to play in the snow. When I was a child, I dashed to play in the snow. Let me look at the keyword, which is when. When I was a child, I dashed to play in the snow. Okay, you can just say when I was a child. So was isn't past. So when. So if you really look into it, you can't apply the rule. When I was a child, I dashed to play in the snow. They've given the to play. So it's actually simple past. It's in past, so it's simple past. So verb V2 form. And that is love, loved, loved, so loved. I love to play in the snow. Okay, let's go to the 14th one. By the time you arrive, I dash the assignment. By the time, we have to pick a tense for the verb. So by the time is actually a keyword. By the time you arrive, I dash. I Okay, so by the time is the keyword for past perfect. By the time you arrive, I had already completed the assignment. Is it right though? Hmm. By the time you arrive, I dash the assignment. Okay. If they say I dashed the assignment, you can say I completed the assignment, I was completing the assignment, I will complete the assignment. You don't know. Let's just ignore the by the time you arrive. So they just have I complete the assignment. You don't know which sentence, which tense to use. That's why they've given this particular keyword for you, by the time you arrive. So by the time you arrive means you've not arrived, you will be arriving in the future. So by the time you arrive, So in the future, I will have completed the assignment. Why I will have completed? So it is in the future. So will plus present perfect. You will have to use I will have. It's not present perfect. It's future perfect. Okay, you will have to use future perfect. I will have plus V3. I will have completed the assignment by the time you arrive. Okay, let's go to the 15th. So I already told you, for universal truth you'll have to use simple present. The sun rises in the east. In the east, it's actually universal truth. So rises. So rise or rises. Rise is also present. Rises is also present. The sun is a singular one. So you use rises. Okay. Let's go to the next one. We dashed dinner when the phone rang. Okay. When the phone rang, when something was happening, we were doing something. Okay. So when you encounter when, okay, you need to look at this thing also. When something was happening alongside. Okay, when you've got like two situations. When the phone rang, another situation was happening, so you have to use the continuous over there. They've given the rang, which is in like the V2, ring, rang, rang. So in the V2 form, you'll have to say we um we were having the dinner. So we were having dinner. So I told you this is in V2 form, so this also be in the past. We were having the dinner. Yes, we were having the dinner when the phone rang. They dashed to the new restaurant yet. Okay, yet. So when you encounter yet, you should use the present perfect. So it is have or has plus V3. The have or has plus V3. So you need to use have here because this is in plural. They have not been. So for the V3 form of be is been. They have not been. Okay, 18th one. She dashed for the exam when her friends arrived. Okay, I told you when one thing is happening, another thing is also happening, means you have to use continuous. Okay, uh, which continuous? This is in V2 form. So we have to use the V2 verb. So she was studying, past. Okay, she was studying for the exam when her friends arrived. Okay, let's go to the next one. He dashed here for 2 years now. I told you for 2 years now, it's actually a continuous period, continuous action. So you have to use present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous means have or has plus been plus verb plus ing. So he is singular. You have to use has been working, working. Work plus ing is working. He has been working here for 2 years now. Tomorrow at this time, I dash to New York. Okay, let's see. If they don't give this, you don't know which sentence to use. They've given tomorrow. So tomorrow means tomorrow at this time. So by the time you arrive. So that is talking about the future. Tomorrow at this time is also talking about the future. So you need to say tomorrow at this time I dash to New York. New York. Tomorrow at this time you will be doing some continuous action, right? That is traveling to New York. So tomorrow means will, this is the future, will plus be plus v plus ing, traveling. Okay, these are all the 20 questions. With this, every tense is covered basically. Simple present, so present continuous. If you encounter something like um, now, something like now, you need to use continuous. She is studying now, like that. So every tense is covered over here. I'm sorry. Let's go to the next part, which is articles. So articles, you'll be given options and you'll have to choose it. Okay, let's see the article. So you've got like three articles, a and the. Let's look at the examples and see. She is dash honest person and dash good friend. Okay, let's see. H. You might think H is a consonant, so I need to put she is a honest person. No, it's not actually honest, it's honest. Honest. So while you're saying honest, you're using O, honest. So H is silent over here. O will come to the first. So O is actually a vowel. So you'll be using she is an honest person and a good friend, because this is a consonant. G is a consonant. So this answer is an and a. Okay, let's go to the next one. I bought dash umbrella and dash book from the store. Let's see. You might think U is a consonant, so I need to put I bought a umbrella. No, you need to put an here, because when you're pronouncing it, it's actually umbrella. a umbrella, right? You're not saying you. You're not pronouncing it like you. So I bought an umbrella, and I'm sorry, I think I'm tripping or something like that, because U is actually a vowel, right? I'm so sorry. So this is actually comes under the vowel A-E-I-O-U. Yeah, I confused this umbrella with actually Y. Those two things are different. So I bought an umbrella, very simple thing, vowel, and a book from the store. So book is actually singular. Okay, an and a. Let's go to the next one. He is dash tallest boy in dash class. Okay, the tallest is actually superlative degree. Okay, superlative means you have est. So when you encounter est, always the article is the. He is the tallest boy in. They're talking about a particular class and the particular tallest boy. So if you're talking about particular thing, you will have to use the. He is the tallest boy in the class. Okay, next. Let me see if I've got any thing. Okay, Sumit has said, thank you so much, ma'am. You're welcome, Sumit. Let me just continue with this. Okay, she wants to become dash engineer in dash future. She wants to become, so let's take E. E is actually a vowel. So she wants to become an engineer in the future. Okay, in not, they're talking about the particular future, her future. So it's the future. It's actually an and the. Okay, let's go to the fifth one. Dash sun rises in dash east. They're talking about especially the sun. So if you're talking about the particular object, it is the sun rises in. The sun rises in, they're talking about a particular direction, so it is the east. The sun rises in the east. Answer is the and the. Okay, let's move on to the prepositions. Okay, the cat is hiding dash the table. The cat could only hide, okay, under, on, between, in. You can't use on the table. The cat wouldn't use the tabletop to hide. It is not between. There is no. Not talking about two objects. Not between. In the table, no such concept as in the table. There is nothing like that. So it's actually under. Okay, next one. She walked dash the park on her way home. She walked across the park, through the park, under the park, over the park. So under and over, not possible to walk under a park or over a park. Across the park. So when you're talking about a park is a land, so you need to use through. When you're talking about water, a sea, or not a sea, a river. Across the river. Okay. It's actually through. Let's go to the next one. He has been living in this town dash 2010. As I said before, when you're talking about a time, particular time, 2010, it's a year, a particular time. So you need to use since. If you're talking about a period of time, he has been living in this town dash 8 years, which means for 8 years. Period of time means for, particular time means since. Let's go to the next one. We are going to the beach dash Saturday. I told you before, if you're talking about a particular day, you need to use on. We are going to the beach on Saturday, not at, in, or by. Let's look at the 10th one. The book is dash the shelf next the vase. The book is always on the shelf. You're talking about the top. So it's on the shelf. It's next to the face. So next to always comes together. So on the shelf next to the face. Okay, next is identifying the grammatically correct sentence. Let me see if you've got any queries. No, actually, let me see the okay, fine, nice. Identify the grammatically correct sentence. You will have questions like this also. Let me see. Grammatically correct. She don't like chocolate. She doesn't like chocolate. She didn't like the chocolate. She doesn't like chocolate. Okay, let's see. She don't like chocolate. How do you approach these questions? She, they've used. So you need to see if she is singular. So that means you have to use the verb with es, right? Yes or es. So obviously doesn't should come. But there are two options for doesn't, this and this. Doesn't like or doesn't likes. You already used the yes in this does, right? So you know you don't need to put the yes on the like actual verb. So the answer is doesn't like. Always doesn't like. It's doesn't like, not doesn't likes. Okay. Next one. They has finished their homework, they have finished their homework, they have finished their homework, they had finished their homework. Okay, let's see. Has or have or had. Okay, they is actually plural, so has should not come. They is actually plural, so have or had that can come, but they have not given any keyword. You can take they have finished their homework, they have. Okay, have means you should always have v3, but here they have given v1, so this is not the option. They have or had. The most suitable one is have. They have finished their homework. Okay. Okay, and let's go change the voice. Just three more questions. Let's just see this. The manager will approve the new policy. This is given in active voice. You need to convert it into a passive voice. Okay, what you need to do is simple rule. This is subject, this is verb, this is object, this is an active. While converting this into passive, you need to put the object in the first. The new policy, verb will come here, and then subject will come here, the manager. Okay, let's look at the verb. Will approve. Okay, will approve is in future tense. Okay, you need to convert it in such a way that will, so if it is in future, you have to convert this into the v3 form. Okay, let me see. You got simple future, future perfect, future perfect continuous, future continuous. So what you need to do is, this is future, will plus be plus v3. So will be approved. This is what you need to do. Okay, if you encounter will approve, you need to put will be approved. Okay, I hope this answered. So answer is B. Next one, the team is designing a new product. The same thing, you need to identify the subject, verb and object. So object should come first, a new product, and then the verb, and then the subject is the team. So what verb would you put? A new product. So is designing. So is designing is actually present continuous. So what you need to do is, when you encounter is designing, you need to put actual is plus being plus v2. V is actually design, verb is design. So v2 is designed. So the new product present continuous. In the passive voice form, you need to put is plus being plus v3 or v2. Okay, so a new product is being designed by the team. Okay, you should not put has been, is designed or anything. So being is actually a continuous. It is all talking about the present continuous only. Being, you have ing, right? Okay, let's go to the last question. The novel was written by the famous author. Passive voice to active voice. Let's see. The novel, okay, object, was written is verb, this is subject, by. I forgot to say something. When you are interchanging the object and subject here, you have to put by over here, and because it's being done by someone, by the team. Okay, next, let's put so when you're converting it from passive to active, ignore the by. The famous author will come here, the famous author, verb will come here, and then the novel. Let's see. Was written, this is in the past, was written. So when you see was, you know it's in the past. So when you convert from passive to active, you just write v2. That's it. v2 is actually write, wrote. So it's wrote. The famous author wrote the novel. Very simple. These are all the rules. Okay, so yeah, I've completed solving this. If you solve questions like this, you need to solve the grammar questions like this. 40 questions are going to be there. Trust me, you'll be confused. So if you're not prepared with the grammar part, you will be confused. You might have even lost touch with the grammar. I want you to prepare. Okay, let's move on to the last round, that is going to be speaking round. This is actually talk on a topic. So actually a topic will be given for you, displayed on the screen, and you have to speak on the topic for 1 minute. the preparation duration is 90 seconds or 1.5 minutes. So like that, okay. 90 seconds preparation time, you will talk for 60 seconds. Let's look at the topics. These are all the example topics, previously asked topics. Like hobbies, what do you like to do in your free time, they might ask that. So during the 90 seconds you just try to come up with some points, mentally note it down. If you're afraid of being caught by malpractice, if you especially use a note to note down the points because you're facing down, you can just mentally note down the point, okay. Memorable trip of in your life, so memorable trip, so you can talk about that. Role model, who is your role model and why, questions can be asked like that. Definition of success in your life, okay. So subjective questions like this can also be asked. They will always, in these things they will be like assessing your communication skill, your English fluency, your pronunciation skill, how well you can think in such a short time frame, all of that, okay. Yes, this is all for this video. So let me do a recap. Let me just quickly come over to the first. Yeah, in this video, in this session, live session, we talked about the Cognizant communication assessment. So it is scheduled on September 11th and 12th for batch 2025. It's an on-campus opportunity. This is an elimination round. Please don't forget. You need to be prepared. So that's why I've done expend all of these sections. You will be having like 5 seconds, sections. This can be interchanged starting from reading, listening, comprehension, grammar, and speaking. I've talked about all of these, and I've even gave an example for each of these section. So I hope this session or video was really useful for you. If so, please do like my video and subscribe to me in case you don't want to miss any updates and everything. And if you want to learn Java, Python, contents are in my channel. My team is working on that also. So please do give it a watch, give a subscription, and share it with your friends who are all preparing for Cognizant so that they can get benefit from this also. Okay, so I'll be in the live chat. Okay. Okay. Ayush has said, hi, the communication assessment round is scheduled on 11th September college. Yeah, it can be on 11th September or 12th September. Actually, depending upon the college, so it's 11th September for you, so please do prepare. I hope you watched this session fully. If not, please do watch it fully. But it is not elimination round. Actually, this is an elimination round. Okay, communication assessment is an elimination round. So there are cutoffs for this one actually, so please look into it. Ayush, I hope that answered your question. Harsh has said, Wipro 2nd September SVAR car result. Um, so the result for that particular 2nd September, yeah, you will receive it within 4 to 5 days. Usually that's the time period. Okay, I hope that answered your question. Someone has asked, we need to attach separate mic for this round. Actually, you need to, all you can use is a good wired headset is enough. In my opinion, wired headset is enough and it is the best option. I would not suggest for you to go for Bluetooth headphones or anything. A simple wired headset is enough, because before actually attending this one, this is online, right? So you will be having separate link in your mail. You'll be receiving the mail which will have test your audio, video, and everything. So in that you can see the wired headset, the audio will be going on properly. You don't, yeah, you will have to separate a separate mic in the wired headset itself. Okay. Okay, you're welcome, Harsh. Okay, Ayush said, today in your placement, in the pre-placement talk, the tool is noticed not relevant, but scores matter. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. So the score matters. Yes, the score matters because actually, the score, with the help of the score, they are going to be putting you in either three of the things, right? So you've got like Gen Z, Gen Z Next, and Gen Z Pro, right? So based on the score, they'll be putting you in that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It is not an elimination round. Okay. Fine. Okay. I think I've given. Okay. So this is not an elimination round. Let me see. Tamil Cartoon has asked, hi ma'am, in my college, Hexava company only have 3 rounds, I clear round 1 and round 2. Round has a group discussion, next round it will direct to HR round. Okay. Okay. So you are asking, actually after group discussion round, you will be having a technical interview round for Hexaware. Okay, it will not be a direct HR round. You'll be having technical interview and then HR interview. Okay, I hope that answered your question. Nishkal has asked, can briefly explain all the rounds in Cognizant hiring here and the level asked. Okay, in Cognizant hiring, the first round is communication round. Okay, communication assessment, and after that you will have aptitude assessment and coding assessment. Those will be combined as a single round. Followed by that you will have tech interview and then HR interview. Okay, additionally one doubt. Okay, please do ask. Okay, yeah, Gen Z Next, Gen Z Pro. Yeah, yes, Ayush. What is the expected cutoff? Okay, so the expected cutoff can be 70% usually, because Accenture has such a low cutoff. You can expect the same in Cognizant also. 60-70%, 60 or 70 will be the cutoff usually for all the rounds, including with communication. Okay, so for communication, you can expect 60 to 70% cutoff for everything. So that is a standard thing for every company that follows. Tamil Cartoon has asked, directly HR on ma'am, they only ask communication ma'am. For Hexaware, is that so? But it was mentioned in the job description, like in the interview process, that technical interview will also be asked. So maybe they are changing it after like each round, I guess. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Even in HR round, they will say this is just a HR round, but you'll surely get technical question. So it is good to be prepared technical wise also. It can be a technical come HR round. So to my knowledge, okay, okay, don't worry. I'll search it up properly and I'll try to put a video on that also, or like all the rounds explained, even a short video so that you can guys be able to understand. For which role, if I need to crack Gen Z next? For which role, if I need to crack Gen Z next? So I can't understand what you're asking, Ayush. For which role, if I need to crack Gen Z next? Can you please come again, Ayush? Nishkal has asked, any idea about Deloitte hiring rounds? How many are there? Yeah, okay. For Deloitte, this is the usual thing. You'll usually have like aptitude assessment. Like I'm not really aware if we have communication assessment, but I'll do research on that and I'll try to answer it. Okay, I'll put a separate video on that also. I think Deloitte usually comes for on campus and off campus as well, so I'll put a video on that, Nishkal. Okay, please do be tuned with my channel for that. Okay, Ayush, you can elaborate on your question. I can answer. Okay, you're asking the cutoff for Gen Z next. Okay, so for Gen Z Next and Gen Z Pro, you will definitely have a higher cutoff. So for Gen Z Next and Pro, you can expect 80 and 90% cutoff. Okay, for Gen Z Next and Pro, okay, like 80 and 90%. Okay, it's definitely going to be higher than 70. Okay, so you need to be prepared like that. And also, Ayush, your academic percentage is also going to matter, I guess, with respect to Cognizant. So we'll have to look into that also. Like I'll search it up and let you know. Okay, so for now, the Gen Z Next cutoff and Gen Z Pro cutoff like 80 to 90%. Okay. Kurali has asked, after GD round there will be a technical interview or HR interview for Hexaware ma'am. Okay, so far as per my knowledge, there will be technical interview, but looks like in some colleges they've told there will be only HR interview. So I'll have to work on that actually. I'll put a video updating on that with the information I will receive. I'll do the research on that. So okay, I hope that answered your question. Let me wait for some other questions also. Okay, Rahul has asked, when can we expect LTI Mindtree HR result, ma'am? Okay, so LTI Mindtree HR result, 90% of the people throughout India have not received it yet. So there is no proper information on that. It all depends on the company. All we can do is wait. I feel like it can take more time. It will take more time. It can take like 2 to 3 or even a month, 2 to 3 weeks or even a month also. All we can do is wait, because no, everyone has not received it. Okay, I hope that answered your question. So it's not a definitive one. Okay. Ayush has asked, ma'am, try to cover the syllabus of communication as in before. My weak part is communication. Actually, Ayush, this live session, I've covered the syllabus, actually, the entire syllabus of communication assessment. Actually, I think you've not been joined from the start. I don't know, but I've talked about the syllabus. I've given the practice question also. Okay, so please do watch it from the start. I'll This will also be uploaded as a video, so you can watch it. Okay. Nishkal has asked, how is the market this year? Is it getting better? Compared to 2024 on campus hiring and everything, 2025, I would say it is better. Okay, the market is somewhat better, but not completely like before. The reason why is, I can see openings in many companies. Basically, for 2024, LTI Mindtree or Cognizant, even they came only after the people graduated. But for 2025 people, it's coming in fourth year itself. That means something is improving, right? So the market is somewhat better, and we can expect it to get much better also. Okay. Bharat Kumar has asked, what are the topics should we concentrate in Hexaver for aptitudes and the computer fundamentals? Okay, Bharat. So for aptitude and the computer fundamentals. So for aptitude, if you take, you can expect questions. Okay, you'll be having quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, and also verbal ability, right? 20 questions, 20, 20, 20, and 60. Okay, so you need to concentrate. So you'll be getting 20 questions from quantitative, so you need to concentrate on all the topics, because from all the topics you'll be getting at least one question. So I just want you to focus on the topic which you are very strong in. For example, ratio, averages, proportion, um, like things like that, probability, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, and everything, number system, divisibility rules. Yeah, so rounding off, algebraic expression, logarithmic expressions. Okay, you need to concentrate on all of this. That's why I'm saying concentrate on the easier part first, and then you can move on next. Logical and verbal, you can do is practice on all the topic for logical and verbal. I have a separate video on that also. Please do watch it in my channel, Bharat. And computer fundamentals, you need to focus on, um, starting with DBMS, and then DBMS, operating system, computer networks, computer architecture. Okay, cloud fundamentals, you can even expect questions on that. Kurali Selvam said, in my college there's only HR round, so we need to prefer for technical interview as well. Okay, so if they've told you only HR round, you can just be prepared for HR related question. But to be on safer side, no, if you have enough time, I want you to concentrate on the technical questions also. Okay, Kurali. Java Things has asked, actually, we applied Hexaver via Superset platform with a certain resume, but there's any possibility of put updated resume while technical interview after this GD round? Actually, yeah, actually in Superset you have the option to change the resume. If you want, you can change it. I think there is an option for that. Please do explore it, and I'll also let you know. Ayush has asked about my company. Actually, I'm a freelancing tutor and a developer. I do the things in a freelancing way. So I don't work under any company. So I hope that answered your question. Ma'am, where should I practice for the grammar part, ma'am? Can you share some platform or any resources? Okay, so for the grammar part, Ayush, I would suggest, okay, okay, let me just search it up. There are tons of things. I just want to give you the a quality one. So for grammar, no. If you directly go into practice, you might feel difficult, because there is tons of rules. You will not know why this one came. So why we're putting this and that. Okay, so you might get some difficulty in that. So first of all, I want you to go over the basic concepts of each of these. Like I told you already, right? So for grammar part, you can expect questions from, let me see, yeah, you can expect questions from all of these. First, try to study parts of speech, articles, active, passive voice, basic rules. So for the source I would suggest is actually the chat gpt itself. You can search in the chat gpt, please explain parts of speech in a simple and understandable way, and it will give you some content that is more than enough for you for this time, and you can study from it. If you have any doubt, you can just search in, there are tons of English channel for that, even like Oxford University channel, website, perfect English grammar website. Okay, I'll just put it over here. You can study each of these, and after that, for practicing, you can go with. There is this perfect English grammar channel. Let me just put it over here. It's pretty good. Okay, this website you can go with here. Even Byju's is pretty good. Even Byju's, way with explaining all of these concepts, it's good to learn from Byju's website as well. Okay, these two I would suggest. Okay, Ayush, okay, so Yashwat has asked LTI Mindtree के results कब आएंगे. So LTI Mindtree's results, you can like 90% of the people, 90%, 95% of people in India have not received it, the candidates. So you can expect a delay in that. You can expect the result in 3 weeks or even a month. Okay, I hope that answered your question. Bharat Kumar and Java said, okay, thank you, ma'am. Java thinks it now closed, ma'am. Okay, if it is closed, then you can't do anything about it. The resume which was uploaded, you can use only that resume. So, okay, I hope that answered your question. So you don't have to focus on something that is not under your control, right? So if the resume, if you have uploaded something, try to, try to read that resume properly and like collect points on that for the interview purpose, and you can focusing on preparing. Okay, LTI Mindtree HR round intro. Are you flexible in every technology? Scenario based questions related. Yeah, okay, these are all the questions asked for you. Nice. Okay, thank you for putting this up over here. Nishkal has asked, D is the important topics, ma'am. Not sure the number of question I'm doing is enough. Okay, so DSA important topics. Okay, so with respect to DSA, I have a strategy for you. Okay, I would suggest you to do the topics pattern wise. Okay, don't so first of all, learn all of the data structures you would have already learned, right? Starting with arrays, strings, stacks, queues, linked list. Learn all of the basic things and the basic operations that can be done. So in stack you can do push, pop, and all of those stuffs, right? And linked list, insertion, deletion, and everything. You've got all of these, right? Inserting at the beginning, inserting at the end, inserting in the middle, deleting. And so do basic operation first of all, so you have an understanding of the data structure. And then you would have a pattern. For example, with respect to string, substrings are more commonly asked, so you just take the substring problems and practice all of that. In arrays, if you take, there is this thing, right? Hash map, hash table related problems. Okay, finding distinct digits, distinct numbers, and everything, hash map related problems. I want you to study it pattern wise, so that you know when a particular question comes, you can understand the pattern and solve it, right? And for example, two pointers, sliding window. So under sliding window there might be 30 to 40 problems. I want you to practice all of that. So when a question comes, it will be easier for you to easier for you to point that, okay, we need to use sliding window here, we've already practiced 40 problems or so, like that. I hope that was understandable for you. So because if you do it like that, it will be easy for you. I find it pretty easier. Okay, that's why I'm suggesting the same for you. Okay, okay, next question. And also, Nishkal, number of questions, the number of questions, it doesn't matter. I would say, if you feel like, if you take sliding window, and if you feel like, um, Any questions can be asked, and I can answer. If any question from sliding window is asked, I can answer it. If you have that confidence, you can move on to the next pattern. If not, you need to have to do it again and again and again. Okay. Ayush has asked, ma'am, expected date of TCS on campus. Actually, I heard that TCS on campus, it's going to be happening in September itself, September middle, 15th, or so September 2nd to 3rd week itself. Okay. I hope that answered your question. Give some good platform to practice for the TCS and QT. And what is the hiring process for CIE America? Okay. Platform to practice for TCS and QT. Okay. So for you've got like aptitude, right? Aptitude coding. So for coding, I would suggest Triver Sheet. TCS, NQT, TCS Triver Sheet is there actually. Go through all of it. Okay, that is so perfect for learning coding. And then for aptitude, you can learn. There are many websites. You usually for quantitative aptitude, I usually go with India Bix and Prepinsta even, because those two, like Prepinsta defines all of the formulas and everything, and then they have a question for each model. Those two platform for TCS aptitude, I would suggest India Bix and Prepinsta. And then and also for TCS NQT, I'll try to put a separate series for that. So till that, you can just practice in here. Okay, I can even solve the questions for you, and I'll put a series. Okay, so ma'am, India Bix is good for verbal ability. Yes, it is good. You can practice on that. Okay. Is the same for LTI Mindtree also? Verbal. Debjit Ghosh has asked. Verbal, yeah, verbal ability. Yeah, if you practice this grammar, that will be easy for you. But for LTI Mindtree, they might ask synonym, antonym, idioms, and phrases additionally also. Kumar Shivam has asked, tree graph DP is required. I don't know for which you're asking, Kumar Shivam. Is it for TCS or for which you're asking? Because generally tree graph DP you can practice on that, but can you please elaborate? Priyadarshini has asked, can you make a playlist for Sagent company? Okay, I'll make a playlist for that. Janardhan has asked, all companies written test explain, ma'am. Return test, there are so much of return test. Are you asking about the online aptitude test? Aptitude test, okay, that is a return test for all the companies. The standard, you can get quantitative ability, logical ability, verbal ability, return test. So you need to practice on all the topics. And first of all, I would suggest you to just focus on the topics whichever you are confident in, and then practice the topics which you are feeling difficult little by little. Okay. A written test, that is going to be there, ratio and proportions and everything. So Janardhan, you can visit my channel. Actually, I've got Accenture and many companies return test. I've even put the separate syllabus video and everything for that. So you can go to my channel, separate playlists are there, and you can see it. Okay. Any advice for Accenture, Kumar Shivam? So for Accenture, actually, Accenture, the cutoff is pretty low. If you see, for the aptitude assessment and coding assessment, you can easily solve it. So any advice regarding it? Practice, practice, and practice, and all the coding questions. So especially practice the previous year question. I feel like if you're good enough in the problem solving ability, you can crack any company, right? So you need to focus on the problem solving with aptitude and coding question. I'll do the playlist on, there are already playlists on Accenture, and I'll do for the TCS also. Okay. Priyadarshini, to crack TCS digital, how many problems I need to solve, ma'am? So to crack the TCS digital, okay, I just want to say that there is not a particular number that can give you success. There is one single concept that can give you success. That is, if you feel like, I'm so thorough in this particular topic that if no matter what question is asked, I can crack it, I can do it. In that case, you are really confident. In that case, only you can move on to the next topic. Okay, I want you to practice the problems pattern wise. String takes substrings and everything. There will be patterns, right? Substring related problems, frequency of vowels, consonants. You use hash table related problems. So attack the problems pattern wise. Okay. Okay, so this is enough for today. I'll come in another live session and I will answer your queries there. Thank you so much for joining, you people. I'll see you in another video or another live session. Thank you for making this very engaging. Thank you so much for joining and asking question. Everyone, Ragul Raj, Ayush, Bharat Kumar Niskul, and Priyadarshini Bharat Kumar, and everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, so okay. Janardhan has a ma'am, I want coding questions facing difficult to pass a public test cases. I cannot claim my test cases, ma'am. Can you please to pass test cases in coding? Okay. So if you want coding questions, okay, so in my channel, I have many coding questions practiced, and I will try to put a coding sheet. I will link it up, or I'll put it in a separate post. Please do be informed on that, Janardhan. And also, Janardhan, I will do a separate video on that, how to pass test cases in coding. Okay. Vasuki has asked, tomorrow I have GD in Hexava. How can I prepare for that? Vasuki, actually, I have a separate video on that, talking about the start till the end. I've talked about everything about GD. That will be really useful for you if you have it now. It's only about like it's only about like 1 hour. Just spend some time and watch it now. It will be useful for you tomorrow. And do let me know in that comment box tomorrow if you've done it well or not. Okay. What is TCS Ion NQT and TCS NQT? So you've got two NQTs, free NQT and paid NQT. So free NQT comes on campus yearly once. Okay, from August to September, August to October usually. Okay, so free NQT, it's an on-campus opportunity. It you attend it freely during college itself, and the roles offered are TCS Ninja, Digital, and Prime. Okay, but for TCS Ion NQT, actually that is a paid NQT that happens 4 times, like it happens in a cycle, like 4 months once or 3 months once. I'm not really aware, but that is the case, like monthly once or 2 months once, like that it happens. There are multiple packages for that, like packages in the sense you can attend TCS IT, TCS BFSI, Finance, TCS Business Process, and everything. You have to pay for it and attend. That is the difference. So TCS Ion NQT, paid NQT scorecard is valuable for 2 years, and you can attend it how much ever you want, how much ever time. But TCS NQT, if you've attended you during your final year, that is the only time you can attend it. Okay. A WhatsApp or Telegram group. Okay, Ayush, I'll create that. I don't have anyone so far. I'll create that. Okay. Thank you for asking. Tejas Pro Adapt companies, ma'am. Okay. Okay, I'll do on that. Thank you for letting me know, Priyadarshini. Okay. Okay, TCS NQT next time. Are you asking about TCS free NQT? I think one is on September itself, I guess. Let me just search. TCS paid NQT. TCS Ion, right? You've already given 2 times. Okay, you need, yeah, actually, Skype Alex, if you're asking about TCS paid NQT, it is going to, you need to apply before September 4th. And the test date is going to be on September 16th. Okay, that is TCS Ion NQT. Okay, paid NQT, not free NQT. Okay, Ajay Anbu, it will take a lot of time. Many of the people, like most of the people, 95% have not received theirs. So it will take a lot of time. You'll have to wait. Okay, guys, I'll see you in another video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Thank you for joining this live session, basically. And I'll make sure to like answer all your queries. I'll make sure to put videos on separate things, separate videos. Thank you so much for asking. And see you. Take care. And whoever have your Hexavid